Hi guys, it's Lynn here and welcome to Outsourcing Angel. So in this video, I like to help answer a question from our audience. If I could click it right. How do I keep a balance between a VA that can work autonomously without too much management while still getting things done and accountable? So this is a great question because it's important to know how to actually get VA working independently without having you to chase up, because what's the point of hiring a VA when you're spending a lot of your time in chasing them, trying to find out where the work is at? So I like to help you solve this problem by sharing with you the 5 top tips. Okay, okay, so the first tip is please set clear tasks and priorities. So when you're giving instructions, try to make it as clear as possible, because the more unclear you are, the more the VA is going to not know what to do and you're going to have to chase them up because they're struggling with the task. So try to explain what you're trying to do, why you want it done, what do you expect out of them, and by when. And what I mean by priorities is when you're giving a multiple number of tasks, try to give them in priorities, in order of priority. So explain to them that I like you to do task 5 first and then task 3, blah, blah, blah. So because if you're giving them multiple number of tasks, they're going to assume that the last task is the most urgent one, which not necessarily is. So they might be busy working on a task that you need done, that you don't need done yet. And so then you're going to end up chasing them for the task that you're after, and they're not there yet. So that's the top tip 1, is to be very clear about your task. So the next tip is setting your standards. So if you really don't want to be the one chasing them, following up, let them know from day one. Say, I'm hiring you with the expectation that you work very independently. I need you to be proactive in letting me know how the task is going. I'd like you to update me once a day, where things are at, what you plan to work on. So basically set some rules around how you expect them to be updating you, because then if you're setting those rules, they're going to be the one updating you versus you chasing them. So don't assume that they know how you want things done or how you want them to communicate with you. You should always set the standards and let them know how you want them to keep you informed of the task and the progress. So tip 3 is updating progress. So there are many ways that you could let them know to be able to update you the progress. So it could mean that you ask them, please update me on Skype every 2 hours and let me know where things are at. Or I like you to update me the progress after you finish task 1. So let them know how you want them to update your progress, because by setting that rule from day 1 and letting them know how you like them to update your progress, you're not going to be the one chasing them at all, because they will be the one communicating with you. So the next tip, number 4, is end of day report. So at Outsourcing Angel, we usually give the VA a sort of template for them to use, so that they could update us, or if they're working with a client, they have a template to update the client with. So at the end of the day, we ask them to send them a summary to the client on what tasks they've worked on, what they're planning to work on tomorrow, what are the challenges, if they have any comments, because I know myself, I'm very busy during the day. I can't remember the task that I've given the VA. Same as for my client. So by having that end of the day summary, we as the boss know, what are the VAs, what are they working on? Maybe we have a change in plan for the task that they need to work on. So it's good to see it at the end of the day, a snapshot of their working day. So here's an example of a report. So on the left-hand side, so you can use an Excel or you can use Word document. This is just one example. Some of our VAs just use their email and type out the questions and answer on the bottom. But here's one VA that likes to do it on an Excel. So the left-hand side, you can see the question is, what did you do today? And she lists down all the tasks as well as the number of hours. So this is great for us, because then you know that how long certain things are taking. You might be querying why certain things take too long, or need to investigate further, or you might decide that they're spending too much time on this and they could be doing something else. And number 2 is, what do you plan on working tomorrow? So Yeah, so then that helps you to be able to delegate more work if you notice that they don't have much work to do tomorrow. Do you have any challenges? So, you know, this is good for, to ask them if they have any challenges so that you could help solve it before things get worse. And issues and comments and suggestions. So those are the 4 questions we deem as important at Outsourcing Angel. So tip number 5, so overall is that we encourage you to empower them to make the decision to be the one communicating with you, because when you give them the rules and tell them that they are the one to update you, then you are not the one to be chasing them. Because if you don't do the 4 tips that I've given you, then you'll be the one chasing them, because they don't know that you're expecting an update. They don't know that you they don't know that you want certain things done by a certain time. So by setting all those rules and following those four tips, you basically are empowering them to be the one being proactive to update you and communicate with you. And by them updating you and communicating with you, you'll find yourself less chasing them. Because if you're going to have to be chasing them after setting those rules, then you know that they're not good enough, or they're not good at following your instructions, and they're probably not good to be your VA. So there you go. Those are the 5 top tips that I could share with you. If you have any other questions that you would love me to help answer in terms of outsourcing, how to work with VAs, then feel free to email me at info@outsourcingangel.com.au. Until next time, goodbye.